We've now moved back over to the policies section, and we're specifically taking a look at login policies. Login policies will serve as your way to be alerted about different login activity from outside the United States. You can adjust the countries that are considered approved versus unapproved, but by default the United States will be approved and the rest of the world again will be considered unapproved there. Very first policy here is the suspicious login policy. So this is looking for any type of suspicious activity that's occurring from outside the US, and primarily again those suspicious activities will be successful logins from outside the US is what's going to be picking up on a lot there. Definitely a good policy to have in place. Many times it might pick up potential VPN usage by students or other odd activity there. Definitely a good one to keep an eye on there. This is though where Google is going to provide a little bit of a flagging and letting you know, hey, this is something where there might be some concern around this potential login activity here. There are ability to set remediations on any of these policies as well too. Just keep in mind they're a little bit delayed. So Google login activity is delayed. It's not going to be an exact real time there. There's generally speaking about a 4-hour delay on that. So do keep that in mind. So if you do set it to suspend user or reset password, that will be occurring about 4 hours after the actual event likely occurred there. Generally speaking, Google's guarantee there is going to be about 24 hours. And then you've got your options there of suspend user, reset password, or warn user there. So some different flexibility in choosing of how you want to approach this. By default, again, it's set in that look don't touch state where it's just going to go ahead and let you know, hey, here was a suspicious login from outside the US there. This policy here, unapproved login policy, is looking for any successful logins from outside the United States. Does a great job of looking for that information. These are very important ones to take a look at. These are a case where something may have slipped through for whatever reason. This particular user was just able to log in from outside the United States. There were no questions raised there about that login activity. Same idea here with remediation as well too. Certainly this is something where sometimes it can make sense to set up remediation. Warn users always an option as well too if you don't want to go ahead and have the platform take that more extreme action of actually resetting a password or suspending an account, where at least it may tip off your end user that there might be something wrong with their account and they can reach out and hopefully try to get that solved there if there is an issue in play. Further down here, there's also then a more optional policy. This is the unapproved IP policy. So you do have the ability to set up IP addresses as approved or IP ranges as approved or unapproved. So certainly can be a helpful policy. Much more of a situational policy if you are running into issues with that, but certainly can be very helpful too if necessary there. At the top here, there's going to be an add policy button. This allows you to add additional policies. You're fairly well covered with these 3 out of the box ones, but you can certainly expand beyond that. And two of the areas where you could expand would be the total or distinct login policies. So total logins is the total number of logins within a specific time frame, and again that's going to be about that 4-hour time frame that's by default there. So how many logins occurred within that 4-hour time frame. So this is just going to be a number value here that you can choose from. Certainly you may want to start on the high side and then move it down as you're taking a look at the login activity as a whole. Distinct logins is the number of distinct locations that user logged in from within, again, that 4-hour time frame. Can it also be a helpful policy if you are noticing a lot of bouncing around? That tends to be something that commonly appears there with potential compromised accounts. So certainly good to keep an eye on that way. Again, just a number value here that you'd add. So once those policies are in place and ready to go, you'll be all set there, and the platform will start letting you know about any of that concerning login activity. And these top two here will already be on and ready to go right out of the box. You'll start seeing that login activity very quickly